where are the SR characters in 7 Deadly Sins Origins? The game has obviously been out for 2 months now, and we have the same 10 SR characters that were at launch in the game, still currently as the only SR characters in the game. This is a curious decision, obviously, as most games will, release them maybe in banners as like a side unit, or obviously like events in the game where you can like grind them out fully. Maybe you can get like a full P10, from an event, which gives people more things to do. So we're going to talk about the benefits of SR characters, where they are, and just in general, why there have been no new SR characters in the first 2 months of 7 Deadly Sins Origins. If you enjoy these kind of discussion videos, hit that like button so that I know, hit the subscribe button. Let's talk about the value that SR characters have. So the reason SRs are so important, especially early into this game cycle, is obviously team building and team composition. I'll give you a couple examples here, but I was making a video recently on Deanne. She's obviously an Earth character, using her Great Axe. The issue is, she is the only Earth Burst character. If you want to use her axe, you have to do a combinational with Manny or Meliodas, someone like that, to burst the enemy with Earth Burst because you do not have another option. SR characters are very valuable for bursting and for, like ally support, being like a team helper. Tristan is a great example of that. He has the longsword where he can be a wind burster, and that is good right now because Clotho just came out and she's a wind DPS. So if you want to use Clotho and test out her DPS, you need a burster. Guess what? Tristan can do that. Obviously, Tristan can also burst for the fire team. Gil Thunder is the burster for the lightning team, and these are all SRs. Slater is an insane ally support for lowering crit resistance. So there's a ton of value that you can just throw on these characters. They can be ally supports, they can be bursters, and they can help, they can help build the teams out right now, especially when we're early on and not every team is going to have 4 SSR characters that all work perfectly together. Another massive thing to factor in when talking about SRs, the potential system. The potential system in this game is absolutely insane. Some of the stuff that you get from like P5, P7, P10, it makes a massive difference in characters. SR characters you are going to get more frequently. If you have played this game for more than just like a couple days, you can go look at your box right now and I guarantee you have multiple dupes for multiple SR characters. The value that you get from these dupes, it makes these characters basically like SSR characters. For example, going back to Tristan, wind bursting for Clotho, at P5, landing his special attack increases burst by 200. Okay, well that's good for bursting, right? P7 changes the normal skill to be used twice. Activating a wind burst with a normal skill decreases enemy crit resistance by 15%. That is insane, and that is so much easier to get a P7 Tristan than it is a P7 of any SR character, or SSR character, sorry. Gil Thunder is another example. I have a P10 Gil Thunder. That allows him to use both of his abilities twice. That means I can go into a boss and basically instantly lightning burst them. The value you get from the potential system in this game is insane. Because SR characters are easier to summon, you will have dupes. It makes a huge difference, and these are just 2 examples that I'm giving you. If you go through and actually look at all the SRs and the value you get from each of their builds at potential 5, potential 7, potential 10, it makes a ginormous difference. And honestly, fresh into a game like this, SR characters feel almost as hype as SSR characters because you're getting a new character, you're getting new assets, you're getting new attacks, you're getting just a full new character that you have not experienced. And SR characters, like I said, are almost as powerful as SSR characters, especially some of them. So if you do put them in the summons, there is tons of value in that too. Let's say you're summoning, like I said at the start of the video, maybe you don't get the new character. Maybe you don't get Clotho, who's out right now as the summon character. But maybe you get the new SR character, and maybe it fills a gap in one of your teams. Maybe it's an Earthburst character to where you can now use Deanne's Axe, right? There's still tons of value in having them in the summons because now you're getting extra value in your summons. And like I said, a lot of games do this. Also talking about the events, which I started out the video on, this gives you, I mean, this is just great in general because yes, it gives you another character. You can feel, have fun in using a new character, testing out all the new abilities, all the new team comps that you can run with this character. But it also gives you something to grind out, especially if you could grind out whether it's in the shop system or in a % drop system, depending on how it works. But it gives you the ability to grind out the potential system. And with, like I said, with how powerful the potential system is, imagine you're farming an SR character that you enjoy, that fits really well on your team, and you can get them a potential 10 by just grinding the game out. That gives you something to do when you're sitting in these dry periods where people are talking about there's nothing to do and complaining. Now, the one thing that really worries me is we know like the next 5 or 6 SSR characters coming, and they are already in the files. And to my knowledge, and comment below and correct me if I'm wrong, there are no SR characters in the files. Now, with that many SSR characters in the files, we know that that's like, with the 3-week banners that we're on right now, we're looking at like 3 to 4 months in the future, right? With having that much data in the game. So it is worrying that we don't have an SR character in the data. I don't know if they plan to just fully abandon SR characters, which I think would be such a dumb idea. I think SR characters bring the most value early into a game. They'll obviously lose steam and lose value as the game goes on. So missing them right now, I think it's a big opportunity missed if they don't get SR characters kind of on track. And like I said, whether they put them in the banner system, which I think would be great, and a lot of games do that just to give you extra value, or just make them fully free to play where you can grind them out in an event. Early into this game right now, we are definitely missing multiple team comps and team builds that SR characters could fill, and the value of SR characters right now is basically as high as it's ever going to be. So I'm really hoping they don't wait too long to drop the next SR character. I'm hoping they don't forget about them. I'm hoping they don't totally abandon them. We'll have to see kind of what the plan is. I think they're just playing catch up from the game coming out in a broken state. They're trying to focus on that. Obviously, the SSR characters make them money, so they're going to be focusing on that as well. But hopefully, like I said, they'll get it fixed soon enough. Comment SR characters are better than SSR characters if you're still here. Let's just troll the comments. If you've watched this long, I really appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's troll some people. Catch y'all in the next one.